Hello friends. Recording another VOD review, playing Milio again. Um, this game I played on stream, I believe on Sunday morning on the 21st. I will put a link in the description with a timestamp in case you want to go watch me playing this game live. But I will warn you, this game is a loss, and I spend a lot of this game complaining about my allies, I think. So what I want to do with this VOD review is really try and look at the small, maybe not small, but really try and look at the things that I could have done differently. I think that even in games where your teammates are really struggling and really having bad games, there are opportunities for you to try and make some good things happen. Now, let's say you're in an even game or like everyone's kind of, everyone's doing about as well as their opponent. In those games, you might have several opportunities to really swing the game one way or the other. Whereas in a game like this one, where your teammates are seriously struggling, there might be only one or two moments that could be really critical, a chance for you to really stop the bleeding, change the momentum, and give your team a chance. And there also are games that are just unwinnable. There are games where you have someone who disconnects, or someone who is intentionally feeding, or you just have, your team, everyone's just struggling, everyone gets solo killed, no one makes good plays. This concept called the 30-40-30 rule. 30% of your games, no matter what you do, you're going to lose. The other 30% is on the other end of the spectrum. No matter what you do, you're going to win. You're just going to get carried. And then 40% of your games you can really influence the outcome of. So there's a chance that this was one of those 40% of games. So in the lane here, we're playing Milio, Kog'Maw against Jhin, Heimerdinger. So Kog'Maw is very much a scaling laner, and Milio is an enchanter. Whereas Heimerdinger, they want to push. With Heimerdinger's turrets, they really want to push. So this is something that I sort of identified. I made a big mistake here because I took Spell Thief's Edge, which gives some ability power, only 10 health, some base mana regen. And the way that I stack this support item is by damaging enemies with abilities. But I basically won't have that chance to do this. You'll see right here, I'm not able to damage this Heimerdinger. I have to attack his turrets. He just got plus 20 gold because his turret hit me. But I have to attack his turrets. I'm never going to get to attack the Jhin. So instead of taking Spell Thief's Edge, I should have taken the other support item. I forget what it's called, maybe Relic Shield. And that gives health and health regen. And the way that it stacks up is I execute lane minions, and I get gold from them, and my ally, the Kog'Maw, gets gold from them. So you'll notice this game that I don't get my support item flipping over by earning 500 gold for a very long time. And that probably it enables my teammates, or it disables my teammates as they don't have vision for a long time. And also I would have had more health and more health regen, so I would have been safer in this lane. So that's a huge mistake that I made at the very start of the game. Nothing to do with the fact that my teammates are going to have a bad game. Fully just focused on the enemy support that we're against and the lane setup. So that's something. I had a rough stream on Sunday. I lost several games, and I just picked one at random and said, let's look at one of these losses where I blamed my teammates and really focus on my choices. So that's a choice right out of the gate that really didn't set myself up for success. So if we watch this, let's see, the enemies are definitely getting level 2 first. They're just pushing us in. I take a ton of damage. That's a bummer right there. Let's see. I know that they're going to push us in still. I'm trying to clear a turret or something. Look at this. I know that they have level 2, and I take all this damage. What is the Kog'Maw supposed to do when his support lets himself get chunked to 20% right off the bat? I have to burn all my health potions. When I level up, I'm going to have to burn all of my, my mana using my W. Whereas if I had the other item, I'd have more health regen, I'd have more health. Let's close the scoreboard. So I think for like the whole laning phase, it's basically like this, where we just get pushed in. I haven't damaged enemies with the spell once. I have not used my support item a single time. whereas Heimerdinger already has 136 gold earned. Our top laner even gets first blood. That's great. I also just really don't want this VOD review to be like 30 minutes, so I'm trying to focus, speed through and focus on the big mistakes. Still haven't damaged enemies. All right, I just got used one stack, did 20 damage to an enemy. I'm so low health. The whole time I'm just thinking I could have more health regen with that other item. We're honestly doing okay, all things told. The Kog'Maw's staying healthy. He's getting some gold. Oh, we decide not to recall. Heimerdinger is just really tough, man. He puts down his turrets like that, and then like when I try and clear them out, they attack me. Like, what am I supposed to do about that? Little vision in the bush. Our Maokai's invading. It seems to be working for him. Let's see what items I have. I wasn't able to afford a pink ward. My gold is just incredibly stagnated. I have 135 gold for my support quest. The Heimerdinger has 435. So he has 300 more gold than me, which means he's procced his item 15 times more than I have. Whereas if I had the other one, the non-poke one, but the sustain minion execution one, it would have helped farm under tower. I would have had more health and more health regen, and I would have probably, maybe not 435, but I would have 300 to 350 gold, I believe, probably, on my support item by this point. So I'd be much closer to getting my awards item. I would also just have an extra 200 gold. So instead of a fairy charm, I could have bought a ruby crystal, which gives health, and I could have probably bought a pink ward, which I could have put in the vision and protected my mid laner and enabled my jungler. So that's something I'd never really considered. I just always liked the poke support item, but in this game it was impossible to use. And like, I'm sure you put a pro player in my position with this item, they would have more gold than I do. They would have found opportunities to poke with it more than I did. But I think for me, the way that this played out, it would have been much better if I had the tanky support item. We don't need to go 8 times speed. Let's see, the Karthus is here. We pushed him back to protect the Kog'Maw. That was good. Let's watch that back at normal speed. I also want to point out, by the way, we're 7 minutes in the game and it's still 1-1. So like, this game is not a lost cause yet. Very fortunate to survive there. Just gotta get out of here. Our jungler's trying to fight, but we are way too weak to come help. If I recall, our jungler was very upset we didn't come help him. Oh, and then he walks back in. Yeah, this Maokai is on his way to a 13 death game, by the way. Walked back into the Karthus' range so the Karthus could kill him. Let's close the scoreboard again. Really just trying to hang on, and it's just so much harder with the wrong support item. That's a big thing, but still, so far this game is 2-2, so we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to compare where it went wrong and what was I doing at that time, and then think about what could I have done instead. I mean, this one's obvious, right? Right here. Do I see? I wonder if I know that the Jhin is level 6. Yeah, we see him level up. So we know Jhin is level 6. He starts recalling. And then he realizes he can just sit in the bush. His ultimate costs 100 mana. He has 95, 96. So he's just about to have enough. And then for some reason, we walk up. Oh, he backs up. That's smart. Just opens up on us. Kills us both. So the first time this game gets broken out of parity is actually our fault here in the bot lane. which is pretty interesting. Here's another, let's watch this. I see our mid lane, or our jungler invading. Ahri is, pushing up, but I don't go to mid. I'm not gonna make it here in time for any of these minions. Instead of going to mid, I walk down this way. And then only about now, when the fight breaks out, I'm like, oh, I should be over there. So instead of being here at our first tower, I could be here. Right? Which means if I was right here, I'd be in this fight in about 3 seconds. And instead, so I'd be there right now, shielding the Ahri, healing the Ahri, pushing this guy back. So we'd have 1 kill and the Ahri would be alive. Instead, I get here so late and we actually don't even kill him. I missed my boop on him anyway. So it's so interesting how so far 3 tiny choices that I could have made differently based on face-up information would have incredibly altered the game state right now. Instead of it being 5-2, it'd be 3-2 favoring us because we wouldn't have both died in the bottom lane, so it'd still be 2-2. And then the Yone would have died and the Ahri would have lived, so it'd be 3-2. And then the Maokai, I think, dies. So instead of 6-2, it'd be 3-2 us. I honestly almost feel like we can just finish the VOD review at that point. It's so interesting that 3 really small decisions. And at this point, it's just become so hard to play. Like, it's 6-3. Our top lane is going to start falling apart. The jungler's going to keep dying. Let's see what happens here. So I get stunned under tower, get poked. But Kog'Maw's doing okay. He flashes forward. Oh, he couldn't get him. Surely he didn't have a trinket. Yeah, he didn't have a ward. He gets the kill, though. That's good. And I live with about 3 health, if I recall, from the stream. Yeah, I mean, we don't even need to watch the rest of this, honestly. It's just a disaster. And I think if we do watch the rest of this, we'll continue to see that pattern of like, all right, sure, I didn't kill the Maokai. Let's see, he's currently 1-4. 1-4-1. This man dies 9 more times this game. This tree dies 9 more times this game. But like, if you look, even this game state, at 10-4, I've won games when we were down 10-4. It's going to be hard, especially because I'm like so far behind. Wow, he is 500 more gold than me, so he's procced the item 25 times more than I have. Yeah, it's going to be hard, but it's still playable at this point. But that's so interesting. I spent this whole game complaining about my teammates, and the first 10 minutes there were 3 opportunities, starting at the first second of the game, that I made simple, incorrect choices. Bought the wrong support item for the situation we were in. Didn't recall when we knew the Jhin was level 6 and he easily killed us both. They also had a Karthus who has a global ultimate to do damage, so they have 2 ultimates that'll just kill us. And then didn't go straight to mid lane. It's a good habit to head straight towards mid lane anyway, almost all of the time, unless you have a good reason not to, which I didn't have a good reason not to. But I was probably just upset. It was like, I mean, I guess at that point, my team wasn't doing so poorly. My flaming probably started on stream around this time. And again, I'm going to put a timestamp if you want to see the rest of this game. Although it is a rough loss, and I'm a whiny little bitch about it, there is going to be a link with the timestamp in the description. Anyway, that's it for the VOD review. So, what I learned, consider my starting item. If it's going to be a rough lane where we're getting pushed in, go for the one that is health regen and a more even, consistent gold generation. Watch out for the enemies hitting level 6, and head mid lane out of base unless I have a good reason not to. Even if I don't head mid lane, head to this gate. Head to this gate here, come up this way. I would have been a lot closer. Instead of being over here, I would have been right here. That's still get there 5 seconds sooner. We probably killed a Yone. All right. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.